Good morning and welcome to my presentation on autistic children. Are they being adequately facilitated for in the classroom? My presentation is aimed at parents and teachers of school-aged children who have been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. In this presentation, we will look at the autism spectrum disorder diagnostic criteria, what are teachers doing in the classroom to help children with autism spectrum disorder, and is enough being done? Symptoms cause clinical significant impairment in social, occupational, or other important areas of current functioning, and these disturbances are not better explained by intellectual disability, intellectual development disorder, or global development delay. Intellectual disability and autism spectrum disorder frequently co-occur to make comorbid diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder in intellectual disability. Social communication should be below that expected for general developmental level. Students with autism spectrum disorder have many barriers to learning. The Queensland Department of Education and Training have set out recommended adjustments for students with autism spectrum disorder. Some of these include adjustments to planning, teaching, assessment, reporting, environment, and resources. But teachers may choose not to follow these recommendations. Teachers are helping students with autism spectrum disorder by making the classroom routine predictable. Students with autism spectrum disorder thrive on predictability and routine, and that is what some teachers are bringing to the classroom, but not all of them. Teachers are providing students with visual aids in the classroom so that they can see what is coming next. So every Monday, they do the same thing in the classroom. Individual education programs, or IEP for short, help teachers to set goals alongside the parent. These goals are an agreement between the parent and the teacher as to what they are going to work on in the home and at the school, so that they are the same and give a way of monitoring the effectiveness of the plan. This also can be useful in breaking down larger tasks into smaller, more manageable tasks. Can also look at ways to increase the opportunities to look at new skills and concepts that the students could be working on. Using visual aids, for example, some students use flashcards, which give the student and teacher a way to communicate, even if it is in a non-verbal way. Flashcards are a great tool for showing the students what they need to be doing at a particular time when they are not understanding the verbal communication from the teacher. Transition plans is a tailored plan for a student to help them manage change in their life for key transitions. For example, a new teacher or new classroom, the transition plan can assist the teacher and parents to minimize stress on the student and maximize a successful outcome. The plan helps the child to plan for the change that is going to occur. Adjustments to planning, teaching, environment, and assessment. Extra training is provided to teachers in a number of ways. Autism Queensland provides workshops available to teachers on a regular basis. The Autism Teaching Institute provides a specialized course teaching students with autism spectrum disorders. Griffith University has both a graduate certificate in autism studies and a Master of Autism Studies. The Positive Partnership Program is a government-funded program intended to provide professional development for teachers and other school staff to build their understanding, skills, and expertise in working with students with autism spectrum disorder. Workshops and information sessions for parents and carers to assist them to work with their child parents, teacher, and school leaders. So, is enough being done in schools for children with autism spectrum disorder? A study by Ashburner and Zavani and Roger in 2010 indicated that children who have autism spectrum disorder are more likely to have higher rates of underachievement at school. That is, over half of students with autism spectrum disorder underachieve compared to 8% for typically developing students. They also found that students with autism spectrum disorder suffer higher rates of school suspensions or exclusions. The effects of poor academic achievement and high rates of suspension or exclusion are extremely negative for children with autism spectrum disorder, creating an environment where the love of learning may be stifled. Additionally, a study by McIntosh, Groin, Koschel, and Myers found that 22% of parents with children with autism spectrum disorder had difficulties in their relationships with professionals, including teachers. A recent survey of 51 Australian parents of autism spectrum disorder found that 100% of parents thought the teachers could be doing more. Finally, as we can see, teachers are putting in some effort to help students in the classroom, but there is still more that can be done to adequately facilitate for children with autism spectrum disorders in the classroom. Not only is it the teacher's job to ensure that students is coping well at school, but it is also the parents to ensure the teachers are doing everything that they can to help the students with autism spectrum disorder. Students are not being adequately facilitated for in the classroom, and teachers could be doing more with students with autism spectrum disorders. Every child is different and unique in their own way. Therefore, what works on one child might not necessarily work for another. You know your child, and you know what works for them.